Good morning. Today's our topic, how CFC damages the ozone layer. First, let's see what are CFCs. CFCs are chlorofluorocarbons, are also known as freons. It is fully non-toxic and non-flammable and non-carcinogenic. So the first, you may see the structure of CFC. Here the carbon and fluorine and the chlorine atoms are present in the structure of CFCs. Then we will see what are the types of CFCs. There are so many types of CFCs are available. So the first one is CFC 11, CFC 12, CFC 113, CFC 114 and CFC 115. So these are all 5 major CFCs are nowadays available. So what are the uses of CFC? So use of CFCs are very important. In almost all the man-made products that CFCs are used. So the first of all, 26% of CFCs are used in refrigeration and 16% of CFCs are used in solvents and 25% of CFCs are used in the production of foams and 26% of CFCs are used in aerosols. So totally the CFCs are almost available in all man-made projects. So first we must see what's the difference between oxygen and ozone. So how that CFC is going to affect the ozone only our topic. So that's only we must understand what is the difference between oxygen and ozone. So we breathe oxygen, you all know, so that is in the form of O2. But here the ozone consists of 3 atoms of oxygen, so that are bound together, that is O3. So this is fully colorless and adorable. So what is ozone layer? Where it is located? So these are all the important thing. First, what is ozone layer? The ozone layer is a layer of gas. Where it is located, you all know, that is in the outermost atmosphere of the earth. So here the ozone layer consists of O3 molecules, in which way it's formed. That ordinary free atoms of oxygen, when it is combined with the oxygen molecules, that can produce O3, that is ozone. Where it is located, so that is in an outermost atmospheric layer of the earth. There are so many layers are present. So the troposphere and stratosphere and mesosphere. So in the particular stratosphere, you can see the protective layer of the ozone layer. So the ozone layer, which is protecting us, our human things, from UV rays. So this is one of the important ones. So because it's only protecting very harmful rays. So effects of ozone layer depletion. If there is any depletion occurs in this ozone layer, there is an effect on human being and also that effect on earth that is very much dangerous. So the first of all, what are the effects can be produced by this type of ozone layer depletion? So the first one is skin cancer, that is very dangerous, and also the premature aging of the skin and cataracts, and for most of the cases that immune system is very much suppressed. So these are all the effects due to ozone layer depletion. So just you can see the picture. So the body is affected, very much affected by the cataracts. So just you see the another picture, that is the premature aging of the skin, and also in various cases you can see the skin cancer. So because of this ozone layer depletion only. So how ozone is destroyed? So this is one of the process. So in which way they are destroying the ozone? So the ozone, you all know, that is O3, that is O3 molecule. So how ozone is destroyed? From the free chlorine atoms. So that's only we are going to see here. So the first one is from ultraviolet rays from our sun that can attack the CFC molecules present in the outermost stratosphere, and that from the CFCs one of the chlorine atom is removed. So that chlorine atom automatically that can affect the ozone, O3 molecules. So it forms as chlorine monoxide and another oxygen molecule, O2 molecule. molecule. So this chlorine monoxide can be affected by another free atom of oxygen present in the stratosphere. So automatically that oxygen atoms can be formed and the chlorine is free. So now that free chlorine atom is always attacking other CFCs. From the second picture just you see, so attacking another ozone. So again the chlorine monoxide is produced. So then again that is released from that. So again that another chlorine is released from. So this process is continuously taken place almost in our stratospheric layer. So that may produce lots and lots of ozone layers. Depletions can be formed. So this is one of the special process. If any type of free chlorine atoms like that may cause severe damage in ozone layer. See the video. So the same process you can see in this video, how the chlorine atoms can attack ozone molecules. So how can it destroy the ozone layer? So these are all the rays which are coming from sun. So this is the stratospheric region, just you may look at. So that there are so many watery molecules are there, that is ozone is present. So that oxygen also present there. So whenever that oxygen is attacked by UV rays, that can be separated into free atoms. So that free atom of oxygen can be combined with another oxygen. So that ozone is formed like this. That ozone is attacked by UV rays, so automatically one of the oxygen can be released in this way. So that can be joined with another oxygen, so that another ozone is formed. So this way full of ozone are formed in the stratospheric atmosphere. So this is one of the repeated process. So much of ozone is occupying the outermost stratosphere. So there are so many molecules are present like this. So that time that ozone which is attacked by one of the chlorine atom, that can be combined with the oxygen. So one of the O atoms can be relieved from ozone. Then when another free atom comes, so that can be joined as an oxygen. So now also chlorine is free. When the chlorine attacks another ozone, again chlorine monoxide may be produced. From chlorine monoxide, that oxygen can be steamed by another free atom. So again chlorine is free. So whenever this process happens, almost the chlorine atom is free. So that can attack again and again the ozone molecule. So totally the depletion can be formed. This is the depleted ozone layer. So this is the picture you can look at. The central region, so almost fully depleted. This is but nowadays that depletion is very much decreasing. So we will see later. So this is one of the important things, how the stratosphere saves the life on Earth. So that the stratosphere you all know. So that is in the outermost atmosphere. So that is in that stratosphere only we have ozone layer. So one of the thing for ozone layer is highly, it can protect from UV rays. So because so much of UV rays which are coming from suns are attacking us. So there are also some of the variations as UVA and UVB and UVC. So one of the harmful one is UVC comparatively with other UVs. UVC is very harmful. That UVC can be totally stopped by that ozone layer. So that's only that ozone layer is important. So from this you know how important that ozone layer to protect our life. So the stratospheric region, so if ozone depletion occurs due to the free molecule of what? Chlorine, automatically that may cause some of the radiations can be allowed to enter into the earth. So automatically that radiations in the earth can be very much increased. So due to the radiation in the earth atmosphere, that is the global warming also can occur. So that is one of the major dangerous one due to ozone layer depletion. So this is the discovery of the ozone hole. Who discovered first? In 1986, Dr. Susan Solomons, who discovered that is chlorine increase in ozone layer. So who only identified that is chlorine increase in ozone layer, and also that effect on ozone layer due to this ozone also explained by this famous personality. So this is one of the graph, ozone air quality from 1980 to 2014 they have taken. So in between concentration and then years, so in between 1980 to 2014 they have taken how the concentration is, whether it's increasing or decreasing, but in this graph purposely, so they have taken us, it's decreasing. So it's one of the good sign for ozone air quality. So in concentration ratio is in 1980 that was very high in the value of 250 to 350 Dawson units, but nowadays it's very much decreased. That is one of the very good sign of ozone layer air quality. So this is just you see this picture, polar stratospheric clouds over Antarctica. So mainly the ozone layer depletion is one of the seasonal one. So highly that can affect over Antarctic region. So therefore you can see in this picture. So you know from this ozone layer depletion that from the single chlorine atom can destroy thousands and thousands of ozones. So automatically the depletions can be formed. But due to that effect, so much of skin cancer and so much of diseases may occur. So to prevent this worldwide, so we have taken some agreement. So throughout the world, so we can stop some of the harmful gases produced by the CFCs, so that products can be stopped. So we have taken step from 1970s. So throughout after taking that much of step, so nowadays the air quality of ozone layer is very much good. So the latest news from NASA says, so almost in 2050 to 2070, so that ozone depletions can be destroyed. That ozone depletion region can be avoided. So here, as you see, in 1970s, 1960s, 70s, we had the value of concentration 250 to 350 in Dawson units, the concentration of ozone layer. But nowadays that is very, very low, about 110 Dawson units only. So that is very low only. This is one of the good signs from NASA also saying that half closed. It will be half closed in 5 years. So this is one of the another topic, that is what is solar wind. So that is the second part of this. What is solar wind? This is you all know that solar wind may be produced at corona. This is one of the high energetic charged particles which are coming from the outermost layer of the sun. So just you may look at that is the outermost layer, that can be called as the corona. So always from the corona, so just you can see during the eclipse time, you can see this the rim of the outermost layer that can be seen only during the eclipse only. So these are all the properties coming from the rays. The properties almost near the earth they have taken. That is proton density is 6.6 centimeter per centimeter cube. Electron density is 7.1 per centimeter cube. And that is flow speed, that is very, very high. That is 450 kilometer per second. And the proton temperature 1.2 into 10 power 5 Kelvin. And the electron, these are all the properties of the solar wind. So when it is coming nearer to the earth, very much high radiation may be produced, so that may cause severe damages to the earth, human life. So whenever the particles coming from the sun's corona, So automatically that can have much speed, 900 kilometer per second, and also with high temperature. So with high temperature 1 million degrees in Celsius. So when it is coming nearer to the air, automatically it will carry some of the thing, that is the radiation, and also the magnetic clouds also present in some of the areas. Automatically that may cause severe damages to the human life. So the third part is what are cosmic rays. So the cosmic rays also one of the high energy particles, but the solar wind particles are, that is stream of particles, but here in space almost we have cosmic rays. These are all that is electrons and positrons. It consists of electrons, positrons and subatomic particles. So composition of this cosmic rays, mainly we can look at 89% of protons and 10% of helium nuclei and 1% of electrons and heavy elements. And who discovered this cosmic rays? This is one of the important thing. In this 1912 by Victor Hess, who only discovered that cosmic rays are present in the outermost atmosphere, but he awarded the Nobel Prize in 1936 only for this famous discovery. So Arjun, who is the origin of this cosmic rays, you know that for solar wind, the origin is the sun. But here, for cosmic rays, the origin is not the sun. So here, the violent burst of supernova can cause severe effect on this outer space. Automatically, the shock waves, the violent burst of supernova always giving the shock waves, more and more number of shock waves. So whenever the shock waves comes, that may attack other particles. So when proton crosses the shock waves, automatically what will happen? So that can get some of the charge from this area, that is the boundary of the shock area. So at one time, the protons get charged, so the magnetic fields always affecting that protons to go back and forth like a tennis ball bouncing the nets. So these are also some of the possible sources of the cosmic rays. This is one of the cases from active galactic nuclei, and this is the second one is supernova remnants. The third one is polarity galaxies. So what are the effects? So due to that solar wind we may see, so there are so many effects on the human beings due to the radiation which are coming from the solar flares. But here now you look at what are the effects due to the cosmic rays. So it plays an important role on cloud formation. So that is, physicists also suspected that there is a specific link between the cosmic rays and cloud formation. Thank you.